everybody, my name is Farmer Phil and Farmer Liv, and in today's video it is a very Baltic morning here. I think last night, I don't know how cold it got last night. The car this morning when I was leaving EirCode to school was -8.5, and the weather app says it's -2.2 at the minute, so it's somewhere between them two. It is cold. The water, we no longer have running water to our house. Is the cold water here? Yep. So there's cold water, grand. So we can refill bottles for us here and bring them over to ourselves. But we have to feed the calves, and to feed the calves, most of the water in the farm is frozen at this point. We have to get hot water from here and then bring it over. And I'm fully expecting all the drinkers to be froze. So we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. I think I have a plan. We get her, mix the water for the calves, hot water for calves, and we'll be on in and get them fed. You look cold, Liv.
Very cold. Here's the boys, ready for their breakfast. Philip's just looking after Uncle Liam for a minute, so we'll feed the boys. So we've them drinking out of the troughs now, just because they're getting that bit bigger and it's just a lot quicker, and they seem to be doing well on them. But this little guy, he's getting his own single bucket just so we can make sure exactly how much he's drinking. We're going to start weaning them a bit with the cold weather. We want to keep them nice and warm, so I'd rather put a little bit more milk into them and keep them warm. This little intruder finds his way around everywhere, don't you? I think those 3 big calves, we're going to split this pen in 2, and we are going to start weaning them because they're flying it, and they're eating a lot of meal. These 3 maybe him too. We'll keep him on the milk and give him a bit extra, let them catch up. This guy's trying his luck.
I suppose Liv looked after you there with the calves, so just Nelly, stop barking. Just a bit on the calves. We have them 3 calves there without jackets.
I've said that.
Oh, you've already done that?
Yeah.
Oh, Liv's doing the job for me. I'm after getting me a blowtorch, so we're going around the sheds now and see what drinkers are frozen and try and make up a game plan and see what we're going to do, because that's kind of the next job, because some of the drinkers had frozen over last night, so we'll just go around and check on them. We had all the drinkers that they were leaking a little bit to try and keep water flowing in case the cattle weren't drinking enough out of them, to try and stop it from freezing, because the pipes, with the exception of one shed, the pipes are above ground at some point and freeze. Doesn't happen very often, but we'll go around and we'll check them all and we'll see what way everything is and see what kind of a game plan we can make up to get water to everything. We have the sprayer bowser there, is a fair sup of water in it. You can see the line, so we have that much water available to us without having to go to the river with a tanker to get water. So we'll see how this works out. Not frozen. You can hear the water moving. Very surprised at that. Frozen, 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 and they have the ball off. Lovely. Not frozen. So we have 4 pens of cattle with frozen water. 3 bulls, there, and there, and the heifers and the lighter cattle in there. That shed there has a big, one of them big round drinkers, 500 or 250 gallons, whatever it is. And that's fine. And surprisingly, the calf shed below is fine. I was fully expecting that to be frozen over, but it's not. The reason for them sheds over there to be frozen is down to the water pipe comes from the well, which is their side of that building, comes down under the ground, goes to the middle of that shed there, and then it spurs out. But the spur for them sheds there comes out of the ground here, goes up the wall, across the top of the shed, and comes back down the wall there into the ground and across and then up the middle of the wall and underground. And that's why that line is frozen, because that pipe there is exposed. So something that needs to be done at some point is dig a trench and put that pipe in it, which should have been done the first day, but it's kind of how things were done here. Ducks and the geese are all right in there. So what we're thinking of doing, and we're kind of thinking this last night, the easiest way of getting water to them, we only have the one bowser, and I could spend all day moving a drinker and moving a bowser around and not get a whole lot else done. What we're thinking of doing is taking them bulls out of that shed, putting them into the yard here, and then letting every pen out one at a time into that shed, give them an hour in there, put them back. So then in an hour, hopefully they'll all have got a drink. We'll put fresh food in front of them, that shed there. So when the bulls come out, you'll have some will eat, some will go for water. Hopefully it won't cause too much of a panic. We'll be able to get the bowser a drinker and set it up in the latted shed, which means we only have 3 pens of cattle to let out and in there to drink. We'll give them an hour, put them back, and then this evening we'll give them another hour and put them back. And hopefully that will sustain them till the thaw comes. Well, anyways, we better get stuck into it. I'll go find where Liv is. She was gone to get meal for the calves. I think the calves have meals. I see meals built there. Yeah, they have their meal. See where Liv is gone, and we'll start making a game.
Goats have made it into their winter housing, haven't you, Gertrude? Yes, Gertrude. Gertrude, Ginger, Grace, and Gwen. So there was a light in here, but it's decided to stop working today. Anyway, we'll go in and feed them. So they're getting a bit of silage, a bit of meal here. They've got a hay rack with the hay, which they climb up the wall to get. Very happy. Looking nice and fat. Try and not keep them too fat now. Their feet are also looking a lot better. I think only Grace is limping now. They're well happy. That'll keep them occupied for a bit. Through the secret garden. Yes! Come on! Love your breakfast! Come on then! Come on! These two glow orange when the sun's out. They're amazing. That's them fed? So we have a mystery guest to feed in the trailer. See him later, but I have their breakfast. We'll feed him and you can see him later. He's lots of straw. We just need to sort out a home for him. So he's nice and warm in there. He needs a proper home, so you'll see him later.
So, just had a quick chat with Liv. She's gone to look after all the small stock. Hope she filmed some of it on her phone. We only have the one camera on the go today, purely because keeping batteries alive in this cold weather seems to be quite the challenge. So, just to make sure we keep one camera going. If I put 2 batteries in 2 cameras, I'll have all batteries gone before dinner at the rate they're dying. So just going out to move the Waylands on the gorilla rape. So ground is solid. When I mean solid, I mean proper solid. The cattle can't even mark it. So you can see what they've done so far. Now I think we're a week into the hard weather now, and since I say in the last 4 days they haven't just been eating the rape all that well. They're just, you can't really blame me. You can see now, this is from where the hard weather took off. You can see the kind of tracks they were putting into it, and then as the weather got harder and harder, less and less tracks. But yeah, they've actually eaten now a lot better. Still there's some left. They're kind of in between. You can't really blame them because it's so cold. It's probably like eating ice cream or eating frozen lollies. There's so much you can eat before your mouth gets cold and your belly gets cold and you just can't eat anymore. So we're in the shifter now. Next job, push into all the cattle and see what way everything is for feed. So why am I using the shifter? Well, because it has a radio and a heater. Just 2 things more than the teleporter has, so it's a heck of a lot more comfortable in this weather. In the shear ground, we pick up a bale of hay to bring around to the calves, and we push in with a bale of hay. So, first diet feeder going in there, in the weanlings, at the end of here. Mix of silage, small bit of straw, small bit of whole crop. We have the heifers fed as well, and the smaller heifers fed as well. So we'll put this diet feeder in up as far as there. Then the upper 2 bays, we have gold crop coming later on, and I have to get 2 bales of red clover back. First cut and second cut, so we'll peg them in there later when we open them up for them. Now we get this diet feeder in, and then we go to out bulls and put bulls into the timber shed to get water, and we go get Liv and go for coffee. Warm the soul up a bit. It is bloody cold. That's them boys in there, so we go get a cup of coffee and leave them there for about an hour, take them out again. So the drinker in there, as you've seen, it's a big one. It's also supplied with an inch pipe from the well to there. So that's where the water goes, from the well to there, and then it disperses out, with the exception of this pipe that comes above the ground here. At least they got some water now. These lads, we might throw them a grab of silage to keep them quiet. And yeah, we'll get the next batch out when we get there. Didn't think we were going to get that time. That's about the 4th attempt to back up. It's slippy. So we get the food in for these lads here, and then we let them back out. They've had just over an hour to drink, and then later on then tonight we'll let them out and get another drink. So I think it's the best way of doing it for now anyway. So yeah, we'll get this feeder into them. That's the ration there. Everything but the fodder or the sugar beet in it. And that's 1 of 4 fed and watered, or watered, however you want to look at it.
Slowly, slowly, slowly. Steady, steady, steady.
Steady on, guys.
Steady, steady, steady. Whoosh, shush,
Come on.
shush.
Come on, don't mind other boys. Come on. So now we have them out. We're going to feed both sides, the slats and the ones without out, and then we're going to set up the drinker for the ones on the slats. And then all that's left to get water is the heifers in there, and the small heifers in there, and then we're happy out. So yeah, keep at it. my bucket of maize. As you would have seen, we had the teleporter out, and that's purely to put in the meal because unfortunately our wily shear grab isn't a shear bucket. Pity, if it was, we'd just be able to do everything with the shafer, but we just teleporter runs in the meal now. Oh, well happy with this yoke, this shear grab anyways. Doing a nice job. One of the things I really do like about this now is you can get so much bigger a grab that I'm filling the diet feeder in 3 grabs. Grab a maize, grab a whole crop, grab a silage. Depending on the batch, I might put an extra bit of whole crop. Some of the bulls, there's maybe 5 bulls more in one pen than there is in the other, and a little bit extra whole crop, just to make sure that we get the feeding right, because you want them to be just out when you go to feed them again, and you don't want them out when you go to feed them again. So it's just that fine line. Definitely big shear grab, big machine, and bigger diet feeder would be lovely. Definitely speeds up the feed and having a bigger shear grab. Their diet feeder ready, and I've stalled the tractor. That's the downside. If you don't keep the revs up on the tractor, it'll stall. It's going into the slats. I'll have to get the drinkers up there too, so I might just start up the 6270 on the Bowser, and we see what we need to do to get that done. Cold start on the 6270. Away she goes. Battery getting a bit low there, but start up lovely. We'll get that Bowser on. So that's all the diet feeders in, bar the end, that end of the timber shed. So everybody's fed. So we'll let the bulls back in when we come back in, and we'll let the heifers in to get their water. But one thing, while we're walking around the yard, this is something we do a lot. You can see now this, anywhere the sun touches, the frost has melted off. You can see just how much shit is on everything, especially the silage pit, the walls. Chronic, absolutely chronic. I have the banger going, but the banger isn't going in the morning because it's frozen, and it takes till evening time before it thaws out. So you go around the yard clapping, in the evening then the banger gets going and kind of keeps them away. The guinea fowl I bought, we'll have them accustomed to being here now, so we've let them out of their pen. They're staying in with the ducks and geese at the minute. I'm hoping they all kind of fizzle out into the yard at some stage. And see, does that work in keeping them on pay? But them starlings are such a pain in the hole. Just while I'm walking out, we still have quite a bit of grilla rape tee off. And I was talking to Father Phil this morning. He's in the Canary Islands, 28 degrees with him, so he's going to get some shock when he comes home to this temperature. But he's afraid that that might go to waste now because the frost may have damaged it and it may just go to sludge. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But anyways, get the spuds. A nice fry, yep. Christmas tree's up and the dogs are inside because it's nice and warm in here, isn't it? So Liv is just running them out of the shed. Now right boys, full bellies of water. Now that's the heifers in there. Now it's just a matter of getting this other drinker set up, and that's finally all the cattle watered. If I was to do it by going around with the Bowser and drinkers to Everton, I'd have spent the whole day out and got nothing else done. At least now the feeding is done. It's just a matter of them being in there for an hour, putting in back in the bulls, and that's it done. So we're here with the bulls. I set the drinker there so I feed both sides. So I didn't say it to them, and I should have. Don't fill the very centre bit. Oh, whatever. Bit of exercise to warm up. Have a pipe for feeding the PTO power washer, which, if I'm lucky, may be the right diameter to squeeze into that. If it does, ballcock, grand. If not, it'll just have to flow. So it's time to unfreeze it with the blowtorch. Oh, that's not frozen. No water though, is there? We have it going here. It's not ideal, but it's going to do the job instead of just go get water in there. Unfortunately though, it's 2 animals at a time, so they're just going to have to be patient. But going through that side first, it should stop it from moving. I will just have to keep an eye on it, that it doesn't get moved and water starts going everywhere. But we've got water for these, so that's the main thing. But tell you, not a great job when you start putting on a cow day. So we're just after going up to where our red clover is. This is the red clover field. You can see the difference between what got the sun and what got no sun. Yeah, there is a nice bit of cover here. We were to get zero grazed off it, but just never got on it. The weather was too bad, too wet when we should have been at it, and then it went like this. So we have our second cut bales there and our first cut bales there. So I'm going to bring a bale of each back, so 2 runs. Test the first cut, test the second cut, see what the difference is. And then the bales up there were made on a different paddock. But anyways, we'll get a bale brought home. And that's bale number 2. So that's first and second cut red clover, ready to go into them. We have a new arrival in the trailer we picked up yesterday. We're going out to leave him ready now in his new pen, so Liv's going to be setting that up. So
we're just setting the sheep gates up, and then we're going to power electric tape around it as well to get him used to it. So you might have guessed what he is by now. Billy has me sorted.
Fence is all done now, so I have it that it's low enough there that I won't touch the trailer when the door's down. So have you said what's in here yet?
No, but I've been calling him him.
Him, yeah.
And he's right next to these two.
Liv's collection.
Brucey! Bruce!
Pedigree Tamworth boar.
This is only a temporary home.
Yes, this is literally, to be perfectly honest, I got a message on Instagram from, I can't remember, big shout out to the person who messaged me, I can't remember your name, with this lad on Dundee going for free to a good home, because they wanted to make sure he went to a good home.
Having a chat now.
And yeah, it was kind of a last minute thing, but we got him.
So, see you in chops in.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Oh, just on the 2 Tamworths, we haven't had any luck, have we yet?
Not yet, no.
2 times we've AI'd them, but they haven't held.
No.
So this should rectify that problem. Do get ourselves set up right. We'll probably be setting them up just beside the orchard there. We'll have a separate pen for Bruce, and then the girls will be in the orchard, just so that he doesn't serve both of them at the same time. But anyways, that's the latest addition to the farm.
The Ballinamore Tamworth.
Ballinamore Tamworth. Them to it now, and we go get in now with the rain and finish up this. So it is now dark. So gold crop are with us for about 2 hours there. Got a lot done with them. But that's a separate video, as we're going to look at how all our crops have performed. We got our heifers put back in here, and we get the bulls back in, and all will be good. Hold that. Come on. And tomorrow we'll be doing it all again, because again it's another orange weather warning, and we're supposed to get the hardest in the Midlands. So I had to move the telly out of the way. We're doing one last job of the day, pushing in. That's the last bit of pushing in, and this is our red clover silage. So that's what it looks like. Smells really good. This bale just doesn't have much clover in it. See a bit there. That's the pushing in done, so now all that's left to do is the bedding. We'll get some bales of straw and we'll go bedding. That's what you call skinning your teeth star. I think the batches might need to replace the batches. Just want to leave this enough that it should not freeze, and if it gets ahead of the cattle, that it's not going to have a huge pile of water spilled everywhere. What's left to be done is feed calves, so turn out all the lights bar the calves. I'm not going to get anything else done in here, so it's just going 7 o'clock. So I get myself a bit of food. I'm going to bee harvester for another freezing cold night. Tea. Jeez, you can see the steam on the camera.
Beige
From the cold.
tea.
Huh?
Beige tea.
Beige? What's beige?
Beige.
Beige. So, I forgot I had the camera. They're fed. I've just after putting in meal. Mad for the meals there. Absolutely mad. But as Liv was saying, we've 3 there to be weaned off there now. So hopefully maybe tomorrow I might get a pen set up for them in the straw hay shed. And we'll move them over there, so that we can get them out, give their guys a little bit more. That's kind of it. Oh, Liv's here. Hi.
Hi.
Whew. So, that's me and Liv finished. Well, Liv is finished for the day. Oh no, you're going sorting stuff out, yeah. I'm going to go at the bee harvester, get all the pipes on it for Father Phil arriving tomorrow, so we can just finish it off, which is cables, belt and covers, and she's back together. So anyways, we're going to leave it at that for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. It is a lovely frosty night. How many people watching this have had cattle drinkers freeze on them? Because it is a pain in the hole. We need to do something there. And as I said earlier, there's a lot of things. I could do half an hour of a video of all the things I want to do and change around the farm, but I could be still talking about them things in 15 years time. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That's it from us. Good luck.